You're listening to FitPro Sessions with Parallel Coaching, episode number 18. Hi, I'm Neil Bergman, and in today's podcast, I'm talking with Hayley how you're not meant to take your foot off the gas this side of Christmas in preparation for your exams, your course LAP, your practicals to kickstart 2020 with success. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Neil Bergman.
And I'm Hayley Bergman. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands of fitness professionals to get qualified, learn with simplicity, and coach clients with confidence.
We're the first to say that learning and being a fit pro doesn't have to be hard work, and that with the right structure, support, and resources, you can become a confident and knowledgeable fitness professional that is dedicated to more.
So how do you learn, qualify, and kickstart as a fit pro? This is the FitPro Sessions Podcast with Parallel Coaching.
There's 21 days left of 2019.
Wow.
21 days, Hayley, until
insane.
we jump into 2020, which is a complete new decade. So we leave this decade, the second decade of this century behind, and we jump into the third decade in 21 days.
Wow. I love this time of year for that exact reason, like all ramping up to the whole new year. It feels like a fresh start. Love it.
It's a fresh start, but people are ramping up to Christmas. And that's my message today, is about not taking your foot off the gas. See, I spoke to, I'm going to say, it's got to be at least a dozen people last week and a few of the learners over the weekend. And the general feel that I got was that they're going to take their foot off the gas inside their studies, their revision for their exams, their course LAP, their practicals, and even inside their own training. Because it's all about Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. And don't get me wrong, I love Christmas. I'm all over it. And I want to ramp up towards kind of a festive few days that we have. Yeah.
A lot of people talk about, say, taking it easy
over
Christmas. Maybe like you've just completed your assessments, your LAPs all handed in, your exams, that type of thing. Or maybe you're just going to take a siesta from your studies.
Some time out.
And you've used that phrasing of, I'll just take my foot off the gas for a little while. Because it's either busy with family or...
I think we're coming across as a bit Scrooge-like. And I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself. I'm not saying don't have a good laugh, have a good party.
So the wine's allowed.
Yeah, have the wine, have the beer. I don't mind. Go ahead and, party hard. But on the same side of that, I want to spend the next 10 minutes to kind of inspire you, motivate you, and help you make a decision and a commitment that it is possible, easily possible, to put all your studies, your revision, your course LAP, learn. Even if you're not even enrolled on a course and you're listening to this, you're capable and have capacity to do so much more than just ramp up for Christmas.
Yeah. And I hear a lot of people that say, I'm going to take my foot off the gas at Christmas. But there is a huge problem with that. And the problem is not that, oh, well, it means that you can't enjoy family and you can't enjoy your time off. But actually, the problem is that if you totally take your foot off the gas, as in with a car, if you're driving a car...
We have a lot of car analogies.
Mechanic
and car analogies.
If you're driving and you've got your foot on the gas, foot on the accelerator...
You're moving forwards.
Regardless of the speed, depending on how much gas you've put on it. But if you take your foot off the gas, you don't just stay where you are, or going at the same speed, you totally stop.
Not straight away, you slow down and you come to a stop.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? So there's a problem there, right?
Yeah, completely. So if we took, from a revision perspective, if you've currently got momentum and you're revising, let's say, every other day or 2 or 3 times a week, and over the course of December, you take your foot off the gas and you no longer revise, or you just revise once a week, or inside, let's say, from the 15th of December onwards, as kind of the party season starts, you don't revise until the first week of Jan. You've had 3.5 weeks off. Your foot has come off the gas. You're guaranteed to hit your revision, your studies, early Jan, having forgotten everything or forgotten a lot of things and feel, annoyed or frustrated, hard to pick the books back up, find that momentum. What did I do before? Overwhelmed, anxious as the exam or the course deadlines start to approach.
And quite often people find that revision or memory of things, of learning new content, so anatomy, of nutrition, or even learning something new for your exercise referral or your whatever course you're on, sometimes people find learning quite hard anyway. So then taking 2, 3, 4 weeks out could be a massive dent in any progress. like you said, and then it's harder to remember stuff. If it's already hard, then if you take
It's
time
gonna be
off,
even
it's
harder.
going to be even harder.
And yes, Christmas is there, the festive season is there to enjoy yourself and take time out and relax from your studies. But consider for just a second that you can do both of them.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, exactly. So you can do both. You're not being a martyr to
No,
Christmas.
I'm not saying I'm not being a martyr to Christmas. And neither am I saying wake up on Christmas morning and open up your anatomy books and start learning bones and joints. I'm not saying that either.
Morning, kids. Just give me 5 minutes.
Completely,
Yeah.
definitely not. However, as we get very shortly, we're going to talk about something called net time, which is no extra time needed.
So there's kind of an extra possibility here that you're talking about. So we've had like this problem of the fact that by putting your foot off the gas totally, you're going to stop, which isn't going to get you any closer to your goal. But also the opposite of that is that by keeping your foot on the gas just a little bit, you're going to now have a new possibility open whereby you can get further prepared, ready for January.
Yeah, it just keeps you in the game. So you keep moving forwards. You're either moving forwards or you're slowing down. Yeah. A lot of people, I think, the conversation I had last week with a number of learners was, if I took my foot off the gas, I stay where I am. And that's not the case. That's a really false, kind of really shitty belief to have, because the moment the foot comes off the gas, you slow down over time.
Yeah, well, you don't carry on going at 20 mile an hour, do you?
Yeah, you come to a nice steady standstill eventually. Yeah. Okay, and it doesn't take long, certainly in our studies, before we lose all that momentum.
Plus, add a bottle of wine to that, and everything's all been forgotten.
Completely. The other side to it is also consider now what you want to get from 2020. Nice. So again, we had conversations over the weekend in our Milton Keynes Academy about, setting New Year's resolutions, and we talked about clients or future clients, prospects that, the gyms are really packed out January and February time. And most people make their New Year's resolutions on the 30th, 31st of December, 1st, 2nd of January. And they go, I'm now committed to X. But it was, those decisions were made kind of off of a whim. Does that make sense? It was made because that's what you do at that time of year. However, I talked to a couple of our learners and I talked about, what have I done in the previous, I'm going to say 8 years, whereby we've sat down and we've already done this. Had multiple conversations about what we want to achieve or expect to do in a number of areas of our life in 2020 and beyond.
Yeah. And the nice thing about this from a fitness business perspective as well, like if you're a PT, if you're a Pilates or whatever, and you're out there working with clients, you're going to have competitors. Now, if your competitor is taking their foot off the gas, but you're keeping your gas on, you're now in a place whereby you can really use this time.
Overtake.
Yeah,
you can overtake
them, which
completely.
Is awesome opportunity.
And use the next 21 days, December 10th today, use the next 21 days to have those discussions with yourself, conversations with, close loved ones, husbands, wives, kids, family, friends, colleagues, your dog, or whilst on a walk, to express your thoughts, feelings, and emotions of where you want to go with your course, with your studies, but also with your fitness business, and what you expect 2020 to show up as. Because life isn't a hit and hope strategy. Life isn't it happened or it's a coincidence or it was a fluke. What you're thinking of feeling right now will manifest in 90 days time, because what you think and feel and your emotions right now will portray in your actions today. And what actions you take today determine how you think and feel and act tomorrow. And you can see this kind of ripple effect. Okay, comes up a lot, but you can see how what I do today, what I think and feel and act today impacts tomorrow of how I think and feel and act tomorrow, and so on and so on. So if I can start to prep and plan and think and feel and act in a way of what I want in 2020, then that's going to come to fruition. And I'm not here kind of in that woo-woo state of the law of attraction. Whilst I love that element of mindset, we still have to go and do the work. We still have to go out and actually take meaningful, actual action.
Can I extract something you said there?
You can extract away.
Really interesting. If your client, you can use this with your clients even. If your client wants to achieve weight loss in January, then what's stopping them starting to do those habits now so that they are further forward?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
About, well, if you know that you want to be doing this in January and you know that in 2020 there's certain things you want to, this could be an amazing prep time.
Completely. And again, going back to the weight loss scenario for your client, we're not saying don't have a whole box of Quality Street on Christmas Day. We're not saying you can't have Yorkshire pudding or gravy. We're just saying that there's a series of thoughts, feelings, and actions that show up today that set up tomorrow. Those thoughts, feelings, and actions that set up tomorrow set up the next day and the next day and the next day. So if I want to achieve something in January 2020 or March 2020 and beyond, August 2020, then I need to start thinking and feeling and acting to bring that about.
Oh, nice.
Boom! Check that out.
I love that. So how do we do this?
So what does that mean? I want to jump back into kind of revision, because ultimately a lot of the people, you guys listening, in fact, if you are listening, go and hit 5-star review and drop us a review, an actual written review, because you're pushing us up the iTunes podcast chart, which is wicked. Cheeky little pitch there. Thank you. But what does this mean for like revision, completing your course LAP, practicing for your course practicals, or setting up your fitness business if you aren't enrolled on a course?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a few principles of things that we can follow.
Yes, exactly. And a nice way of doing that.
Exactly.
First off, I would say little and often. Don't feel like you have to sit down and do this great big chunk of revision time or study time.
Everything we're about to give now might sound really obvious, really simple, and it's because of that simplicity, it sounds simple and obvious, that most people don't take action.
Oh, it's so simple, it can't work.
It's so simple, it can't work. And having to, had literally hundreds and hundreds of clients in a boot camp and one-to-ones over the last decade plus, it's always been like, oh, Neil, it can't be that simple to lose weight. It can't be that simple to get fit. And they don't take action because it's too simple. It sounds too easy. And from my experience, certainly from teaching, but also working with clients, you crave something that is really, really hard and arduous and complex. And only then, when it's this like real tough thing to crack, will you take action, because there's this big kind of badge of honor at the end of it of, look what I had to overcome. But in reality, keep it simple, stupid, keep it simple, structured. And just that first point of little and often, that could could be as simple as, I'm going to, in my LAP, I'm going to complete one question a day.
Oh, wow.
One question a day. And that one question for level 2 and level 3 in the grand scheme of things might only be 1 or 2 marks, which is, dare I say, 20 to 30 words. And I don't want to, come across as a douchebag here and say how simple that is, or, why can't you crack on with it? Because it is that simple.
Yeah,
does that make
exactly.
sense?
Yeah, and same with revision. You could just learn one muscle a day.
Yeah.
That could take you 10, 15 minutes. Awesome.
Yeah, so like on the muscle memory sprint, there's one muscle a day for 28 days.
Yeah.
And you could just say, right, I'm going to learn the bicep today. And I'm going to just repeat a couple of times the flashcard that comes with it of the origin and insertion.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so it gives you this ability to keep moving forwards, even if it's slower than what you might have previously been doing, but you're still not stopping. And this gives you a certain level of momentum. So, for example, if you were to, a lot of people, the excuse I hear over Christmas, or the reason I should say that I hear over Christmas,
excuses,
is that they're much busier because, say, for example, the kids are off school, they've got to sort out all the family stuff,
the food shop, they're going to Santa's
cousins
grotto,
and uncles and whatever visiting. So there's a lot more things happening. So you might not be able to fit in your big 4-hour chunk that you used to do on a Saturday morning.
Yes, if you think about the revision time or study time you had during November, during December, it might look and feel very different.
It might have a different rhythm to it,
so
different schedule.
If we go back to the car analogy and the foot is on the gas in November, let's use this metaphor that you were traveling, you and I were traveling at, all in one car. Let me know what car you'd be in, actually. That'd be really interesting to know. What color is it? I digress. Let's say in November, you're studying, you're on your course, you're studying away, and you're traveling at 70 miles an hour. To keep momentum, you might just take December at 15 miles an hour.
Cool. I was going to say 20.
Or 20 miles an hour.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly. Keep it real
Keep momentum
steady.
because you're still moving forwards regardless of the speed.
Yeah, and it's easy, like Neil said, to look at like a 10-minute chunk and go, well, it doesn't matter if I miss it because it was only 10 minutes. But those 10 minutes build up. Just because
the
it's
big
small
thing
and
I
simple.
hear is a lot is, it's only 10 minutes. What am I going to learn in 10 minutes? And I go, well, hold on a minute. Consider if you do 10 minutes on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's 50 minutes of revision that you wouldn't have done ordinarily.
Keeps you moving forward.
And 50 minutes, well, what can you learn in 50 minutes? Well, you could go through the entire bones and joints section of your level 2 manual in 50 minutes. So what do I do in 10-minute chunks? I break that chapter down into 5. So if there's 20 pages, now I've got to do some maths.
20 divided by 5?
Yeah, 4. I've got to do 4 pages a day.
Perfect.
There we go. And that's...
If you've got 8 videos, can you do 1 video
a week?
A week?
No.
A day?
No. We'll leave our maths there.
Cool.
Next
Nice.
one. Which leads quite nicely onto is about having a schedule. Have a schedule, have a revision schedule, and not just kind of spend hours doing a revision schedule, but go and tell others what you're going to do when you're going to do it. So you
put it on the fridge.
Put it on the fridge, make it really clear, and stick to it. So if you know that you're going out to take your kids to Santa's Grotto, or to go and see some light switch on in town, or go to late night shopping, don't put your revision real close to those things that are guaranteed to happen, because the reality is something in life is going to come up and we're not going to do the revision.
And you're probably not going to want to rush home to do it.
Yeah, but I'm going to sit and do my bones and joints, and then I'm going to go and get the kids ready to go and do late night shopping. It's like, we know it's not going to happen. So strategically place your revision
at the most likely time.
The most likely time. For me, I would say just get it done early. So
early in the week and early in the day.
But early in the day is my main point, because if you can get it done early, you have not had loads of distractions. Don't turn your phone on the moment you wake up. Go straight to your revision. Don't get distracted by Facebook and Instagram pings and tweets and whatnot, and emails and work. Just get up and say, right, I'm going to do 15 minutes before I hit the shower, or before I take the dog for a walk, or the kids usually get up at 6:30. I'm going to get up at 6:10 and crack on for 10-15 minutes and schedule it.
Definitely. And as part of using your time really wisely, if it's a really busy time of year for you, then you need to be more smart with your studying in order to use that time wisely. So I'm going to introduce you to something called net time if you don't already know it.
No extra time needed.
No extra time. So net time.
I do like
a nice little trailer. I like that.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see we've got like this really cool professional podcast mic, and I might release some of my outtakes on YouTube or my outtakes, because I do find myself at times just singing away to the mic.
Sometimes when we set up, Neil will literally sing and wait for me to come into the room. So we've got lots of him singing and making faces. And
making funny faces. It's pretty cool, actually. It's pretty cool. But anyway, there's no extra time. No extra time. What I love about the Revision Mastery Bootcamps, they all come with, of all of our courses, to be fair, the online stuff, audio download, MP3, MP4, which means you can listen offline. So what I mean by no extra time, you could be going and doing your Christmas food shop, round Sainsbury's. There are other shops available. And
we're not actually a radio.
No. Well, I feel like this is a radio station. Yeah. So don't diss the radio. This is like Parallel FM.
Parallel FM.
98.2.
It's quite hard to say that.
It is, isn't it? Anyway.
Parallel FM.
Yeah, well. But whilst walking around Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Asda, Morrison's, Aldi's and Lidl's, Iceland, Farm Foods. Doesn't matter where you go.
Christmas shopping would also be like round town doing.
But you can listen to the sounds of this wonderful woman, Hayley, and talk you through your revision. And you might think, well, I'll be distracted. You might get distracted. One thing I do know is that your unconscious, your brain will be taken on board whatever you're listening to, regardless of the distractions. Especially if you've already
watched that somewhere. If you've watched the module first as a video, then listening to that as an audio will remind you, and you'll be able to get images of it up in your mind.
There's also one lady that's posted in a circle a couple of times lately where she's doing all of her study whilst at the gym, whilst on the cross trainer.
Yeah.
Perfect time. So no extra time needed. You don't need to go and find an extra half an hour out of your day, because the reality is it's not there.
Just use
the time that you already have that is kind of what I class as almost like dead time.
Mm.
Okay, so like walking the dog, you can revise whilst walking the dog. You can revise whilst lying in the bath, which is pretty crazy. The amount of emails we get where I go, I was listening to you whilst in the bath.
It's a bit weird.
It's a little bit strange, but there's so many points in
And
our
also,
day.
like, driving,
The driving, commute to work, commute home, whilst on a lunch break, whilst on a toilet break. There's lots of, whilst on a cigarette break, there's loads of times.
Well, you said that, but actually the flashcards, part of the flashcard design was it's all downloadable. So it means that you can have it on your phone. And part of the design was that you could use it in just a 10-minute toilet break at work, that you can then look at the flashcard and learn the muscle. So that's actually like part of it. Like, it's not silly. Use it. Like, if you're going to be going for a toilet break, then lock yourself in the bathroom for an extra 5 minutes.
Well, not even that, because the reality of a flashcard is it is a flashcard. It's like a flash. It's gone in an instant. So it's a case of a quick look, take one bit of information. Oh, my bicep originates on the scapula, blah. I go, cool, that's all I need to know. Flashcard end. It doesn't even need to be a 10-minute thing. It could just be a flash of, oh yeah, that's cool, and it's in my brain.
Rather than scrolling Instagram for that time.
And the more you do that, repetition is the mother of all skill. The more you do that, the better. And it's not just about revision here. That could be about your course, LAP. Maybe you're not even enrolled on the course, or even in fitness. This is relatable to any area of your life. So if you want to achieve something in these next 21 days and going into 2020, this is the message. You just have to take a small bit of action every single day.
It's about priority, isn't it?
Completely. And a lot of the time we talk about, making a decision is tough, and we spend a lot of time trying to make a decision, and we kind of mentally torture ourselves, and we have these delay tactics in hope that we finally get to a decision one day, or maybe we just enjoy being stuck. On like what I class as Hell Island. We enjoy being in this place of like indecision.
Yeah.
But the reality is a decision is made in a heartbeat. Trying to click there. There you go. It's, the moment you go, that's what I'm going to do. A decision is actually a very quick thing. It's the mental torture leading up to that.
Yes.
Okay. So,
so what's the decision that they need to make? That they're going to keep the decision.
The decision is to keep your foot on the gas.
Nice.
The decision is how much gas do you want to apply? Some days might be more than others, but it's once you've made that decision of over the next 21 days, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, you can now give yourself permission to go and create a schedule, go and tell other people, important people, loved ones, friends, family, work colleagues, of what your intention is, of what you're going to do. And what I hear most is the language change here. So rather than go, oh, I really should start to revise, or I've kind of got to get into my books a little bit over the next couple of weeks, I'm not sure when. The moment you make that split-second decision of, I'm going to revise over Christmas, I've got 21 days, and this is going to change the course of my exam in January 2020, I'm going to revise on Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 10 minutes.
Awesome.
And there's my revision schedule. Suddenly your language, your mindset shift, your approach to this has intention and commitment and dedication behind it, which is what it's going to take.
Nice.
And only then will you decide in that moment to take meaningful action.
Unless you take that decision and the action, then you're never going to move forwards. You'll just stay where you are.
You'll just be stuck in indecision and inaction, and it will get to January 10th and you'll be beating yourself up, frustrated, annoyed, overwhelmed, anxious that the exam is drawing ever closer. You might then decide to delay your exams, delay the practical, because you're not just 3 weeks behind, you've given yourself 3 weeks off and 3 weeks of forgetting, which kind of almost maybe puts you 6 to 10 weeks behind.
And with that idea of decision, sometimes I hear from learners that they don't want to put anything in the diary to say they're going to definitely do this and this, because they don't know what's going to come up. Like maybe it's a really, lots of changes happen around Christmas, lots of different things happen, lots of things are out of routine. So like, well, I don't really know what's going on, so I'm not going to try and book it. But if you make a decision now that regardless of what happens, you're still going to achieve
X on X day.
On which
so
day.
If something spontaneous comes up with a family loved one and says, oh, do you want to come round for mince pies and wine? You go, well, I will. However, I can't turn up till X.
I'll be there at 11.
I'll be there at this time because it's already in the diary. So I don't want to end on a bit of a I feel like we've been a bit of a Scrooge, and I think it's been, hopefully I've given you that kind of kick up the ass to go and decide, commit and execute here. But on the same note, I want to leave you a bit of what I'm going to class as fun work. Okay, so not
nice.
homework, fun work.
Nice.
So from here, reach out to Hayley and I, go into our inner circle. The links are in the show notes below, or whatever. However you're listening to this, wherever you are on the page or the app, there's a link to our inner circle on Facebook. Go and reach out to us. You can email us on info@parallel-coaching.com. I got it right. Okay. And let us know your intention, because we're here to help you take that action and keep the foot on the gas. So whether you're a parallel learner or a learner with another training provider, I don't mind. I want to help you make a decision and take an intention and a commitment, which leads to an action, which keeps your foot on the gas. Whether that's just going at 1 mile an hour or 10 mile an hour or 20 mile an hour, I don't mind what that is. I just know that I can help you.
Writing it down and telling someone makes a massive difference. So doing that, and you can use us for that. So tell us, what is your decision? What are you going to commit to over the next remainder of
21 days.
21 days.
Which includes the old festive Santa Claus, Father Christmas turning up as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us know what you want for Christmas as well. Maybe it's like, can you imagine if you
to
said...
pass.
Yeah, to pass. Can you imagine if Santa Claus bought you your certificate? Oh, you've already passed. Woo! We will leave it there. I expect you. And if you're, whatever platform you're watching on, let us know. Please do reach out. Your fun work is, let us know what is your commitment in the next, what's your decision, your commitment, and what action are you going to take in the next 21 days as we leave the 2019 second decade and we jump into the 2020s. Whoop, whoop. See you later.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Neil Bergman.
And I'm Hayley Bergman. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands of fitness professionals to get qualified, learn with simplicity, and coach clients with confidence.
We're the first to say that learning and being a Fit Pro doesn't have to be hard work, and that with the right structure, support, and resources, you can become a confident and knowledgeable fitness professional that is dedicated to more.
So how do you learn, qualify, and kickstart as a Fit Pro? This is the FitPro Sessions Podcast with Parallel Coaching.